Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to episode 213 of the Ask the Coach show, where PingSkills helps you improve your table tennis. Today, we'll be talking about standardized equipment, practicing serves at home, waist rotation, and specialized doubles players. I'm Jeff Plum, and as always, Super Coach Alois Rosario is here with me to answer your questions. Good morning, Alois.
Morning, Jeffrey, and a happy Friday to you. So, what happened to your big good morning?
I just thought I'd go with Happy Friday because it's going to be happy because I'm going to be telling a joke.
Oh, of course, it's Friday funnies.
Friday funnies. So I'm just going to get right into it because it's probably the best part of the show, and people will probably want it straight away.
Obviously, yeah.
Now, it was Game 7 of the NBA Finals, Alois, and a man makes his way to his seat at center court, and he sits down, and the stadium's packed except for this empty seat right next to him. And he's like, "What's going on?" And he leans over to his neighbor and says, "What, is someone sitting there?" And the guy goes, "Nah, the seat's empty." And the guy's like, "What? Who in their right mind would have a seat like that for the NBA Finals and not use it?" And the neighbor responds, he goes, "Well, the seat is mine, but my wife passed away, and this is the first NBA Finals we haven't been together." And the first man goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Wasn't there anyone else, a friend or a relative, that could have taken the seat?" And the neighbor goes, "No, they're all at the funeral."
Yes, not bad.
There you go. All right, Alois. Yesterday, we asked whether equipment should be standardized because we saw the World Championships of ping pong. What did people think?
Yes, mixed response, but so Abanoob said, "I think that will make everybody play the same style and that will kill the fun." Interesting. But Pratish said, "This could be an idea. The richer players won't be able to outsmart the other players with high-priced equipment." And Jeff Pryor said, "I think there should be some standards. Way too many variations of rubber in particular. Pimples out in particular should be banned, in my opinion." And Andy's been too, of course.
Pimples out banned.
Yeah. There's a few fors and against with the pimples out.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because this World Championship of ping pong, when they standardized it, they went the other way. They went to rubbers with hardly any grip.
Yes, exactly. And so, Luke Blythman said, "It can't be done from where we are now. Thousands of people would lose jobs. The sport would lose major sponsorship. And we would all never agree on what the standard should be." Good point. People who are against pimples, it's not an advantage. They can't impart spin on the ball. You are the one in control of what happens. And Carey sort of agrees with him, said, "Yeah, well said, Luke. What could be done is to hold a tournament or a few tournaments each year in a similar format to the World Championship of Ping Pong." So, and Chris Mainland said, "As frustrating as it can be playing your best loop only to have opponents simply place the bat in its path would actually without actually playing a proper shot, variety is good." Yeah, I think so. But I think the most interesting response was from Douglas Hill, who said sandpaper paddles in the Philippine Liha version of the game seems a good experiment to watch. It seems to bridge the gap between the game and the sport. And Jeff, I had never heard of Liha. And
me either.
So I looked it up, and you know what? I love it. I love Liha. So what they do is they play with sandpaper paddles. I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think the person that picks up the ball is the server. The server has to do a very simple serve. So the rules are it has to be an easy serve and easy return. So the server has to serve. The receiver can refuse any serve. So if I do a serve that's too fast, the receiver can say, "Nah, start again."
That's good, Alois. That's like the old handball at school. You can just go dislike if you don't like to serve. serve it again.
Exactly. And then the receiver, by the looks of things, has to defend the first ball. So the server serves, the receiver has to defend. And what it creates is it creates a really nice rally where one person's attacking and one person's defending. Get onto it. Get onto Lihar. Have a look at some links, and we'll put some links of some videos of Lihar up. And also there was a bit of a study done on Lihar that's on the ITTF site. So take a look at Lihar table tennis. But I tend to agree, table tennis as we have it now is beautiful. It's just great to watch. It's such a great sport, but maybe there's room for these different versions of the game, like Carey said. Yeah, interesting discussions.
Yeah, certainly is. I mean, I still think, would you like to see the defending with the old bats, or would you like to see the super powerful loop-to-loop rallies that we saw in the World Championship final between Ma Long and Fang Bo, the point of the century? I mean, you just wouldn't get that with these hard paper bats. So, I reckon stick with the real thing.
Well, there you go. Yes, I think we definitely need to stick with the real thing for top level table tennis. But yeah, I think I like Lihar, Jeff. I do like Lihar.
Excellent. All right, that moves us on to today's PingSkills question, which is Ma Long or Jan Ove Voldner. So jump onto our Facebook page and let us know, or onto our PingSkills blog at pingskills.com and let us know, Ma Long or Jan Ove Voldner. All right, what happened on the 29th of January in history, Alois?
Well, it was 1886, Jeff, and Carl Benz patents the internal combustion engine. How about that, huh? It's a long time ago. You know what? When I was looking through, I thought, have we been doing this show for a year? Because I feel like I can remember that.
Really?
Yeah. Surely. Maybe it was. Have we been doing on this day for more than a year?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
but maybe we have.
Maybe a different Carl Benz patented a different internal combustion engine. Or maybe he just invented it or something at that stage. And yeah, who knows?
Who knows? All right. Well, that's a long time ago. Wow. In 1886.
Yeah.
Well done,
and I think that's the comments we made last year.
Oh dear, it's Groundhog Day.
Yeah. Ask the Coach show's going into Groundhog Day. That's right.
All right. Now, Victor E has jumped on using the Google Q&A app and asked a few questions. He says, when was the last time you two played against each other? Who won? And I guess Jeff. And yes, Victor, you're absolutely right. The last time we played was in Ballarat doing an exhibition, and I took Alois down like 11, I can't even remember, 7, and he got so upset he squirted me in the face with the water gun.
Didn't happen. No, it didn't happen. I deny all knowledge.
Video. I'm going to put the link on there.
I deny all knowledge. I don't know what you're talking about.
Video evidence. All right, and then Victor says, do you know where Jan Ove Voldner is ranked in the world, or he isn't because he retired from competition? That's right. He's not ranked because if you don't play in an ITTF event for 3 months, I think it is now, Alice, they take you off the rankings. So he's definitely not ranked.
He'd still be number 1 though, right?
He's pretty good. Yeah, that's our question. Ma Long or Jan Ove Voldner? All right. Into the questions, Alice. Jawad says, I wanted to practice those awesome serves you do, but the problem is I'm alone and do not have a table. So what should I do? I do go to a club, but I want to practice my serve alone at home.
Yeah, so this is a really important one for a lot of players out there that don't have access to a table or a club. Serving practice is something you can do at home by yourself really easily. So the first thing you can do is just practice your contact and just hit the ball and let it bounce on the floor. So serve it, just let it bounce on the floor, and you can watch the reaction of the ball on the floor. So if you're trying to generate some backspin, see if that ball is coming back towards you. If you're trying to generate side spin, see if the ball is curving in the air and curving on the floor after it bounces. If you're generating topspin, see if the ball kicks on forward. So by experimenting, just getting different contacts, different types of serves, you can watch what happens to the ball by seeing what it does on the floor. Really simple, and it's something that everyone should be doing if you don't have a table or access to a table at any stage. The other thing you can do is just get any table, so your kitchen table, a little coffee table, or any table that you've got, and then just hit the ball onto the table as well. So then you can see a bit more of the reaction on the wood, but it's also up at the right height. So most tables are roughly the same height as a table tennis table, about 2.5 feet off the floor. So you can really easily now just practice doing it on a bench like I have in front of me. You can't see a bench like you've got there, or any table, and just practice doing your service action and just see what type of reaction it has on the table as well. So really important and really simple way to improve your serves without a table, without a partner, without anything. All you need is a racket and a ball.
Brilliant. Yeah. So easy. Try that, Jared. Get out there, practice your serves often. Get that spin on the ball. You know, that's the key. Once you can get a lot of spin, then you can get a lot of variation, and then your serves are hard to deal with. So great question, Jared, and get out there and practice. Next up, Eugene asks, I have a problem with the waist rotation when lifting a backspin ball. I can't rotate forwards. It just seems weird. It's normal to rotate forwards on the forehand topspin against block, but the backspin just feels unusual. Have you got any tips for Eugene, Alois?
Yeah, so the rotation can still be the same. So when you are playing against the block, so the rotation is this, and I have my easy chair here to help me with my rotation. So so your rotation is here. So you're starting here, you're finishing here, and your upper body is rotating around. So when you're playing against the backspin, the rotation stays the same, but now your bat starts a little bit lower and finishes higher. So instead of starting out there and finishing forward, now you're starting lower and finishing higher. So the rotation remains the same, but the arm action changes to a more vertical stroke. So that's the only real difference. And it might feel a little bit awkward to start off with and to get used to, but yeah, practice, and just try to work on that rotation. I find it an easy way to relate to the rotation is to focus on your free hand. So if you keep your free hand up and balanced, and just watch what that's doing. So make a little circle in the air around your body from here to here, or you could pretend you've got a pen in your hand and drawing a circle around. So if you're doing that, and then the other arm is doing the stroke. So a couple of tips there for you to practice that rotation and the lifting with your bat against the backspin ball.
Yeah, interesting. And he feels like he can't rotate forward. I can kind of relate a little bit sometimes because I had trouble learning the backspin ball first, or how to topspin against the backspin ball. It takes a while. But sometimes I still feel like that lifting action kind of gets you to kind of lift the ball, but your left leg might come backwards, and then the weight transfers backwards rather than being forwards. So I guess we talked about this a little yesterday, Alois, that part of this key is also the weight transfer onto your left foot that helps you going forward.
Yeah, that's right. And also remaining balanced. Make sure you're remaining balanced. So getting nice and low in a nice low position with your feet nice and wide so that you're balanced during the stroke. If you're up high, then this will tend to float around. Sorry, your left leg now will tend to float around. So keep nice and balanced, and the rotation just happens from the upper body, not from the legs.
Yep, makes a lot of sense. Excellent. All right, Eugene, good luck. Keep working on it. It's an important stroke. And once you get that, you'll just be up at a new high level. So keep going. Now, let's talk about another question from Rama, who says, I would like to ask you whether a good singles player can always be a good doubles player. What special set of skills would be required to play doubles? If there's any, please let me know.
Yeah, so in general, a good singles player will be a good doubles player. So in table tennis, because you have to take it in turns to hit, it's not as important as, say, in tennis or in badminton, where there needs to be more cooperation between the players as to who's hitting the ball, etc. So because you're taking it in turns, I'm going to play a shot, you're going to play a shot. The best singles players will usually be the best doubles players as well. There's a couple of things that you need to look at when forming a doubles combination. The first one is, if at all possible, get a left-hander and a right-hander together. That is so much easier to play doubles because the left-hander stands on that side, the right-hander stands on this side, and they can both basically have the whole table to themselves. So that's the first thing. The other thing that often works is to have a slightly complementary styles. So one player being a really strong attacker and the other player being more of a control player often works well, because the control player sets up the ball and the attacking player plays the winners. So that can be a useful combination as well. But yeah, it's more about being a better player. Most of the time, players won't do a lot of doubles practice at all. It's just all about singles. They jump in together. They might do a little bit of practice, work out their signals, work out a little bit about how they're going to move. But yeah, it's mainly about developing your skills as a singles player, and that transfers pretty well into doubles.
Excellent. All right. And Victory has just jumped on live and answered our PingSkills question of the day. Alois, he says he thinks Ma Long has better strokes, but Waldner has better blocks and placement. He thinks they're equal somehow, and he asks, is he correct? Well, it's a personal preference, and that's why we asked it. So everybody jump onto our Facebook page and let us know, Ma Long or Jan Ove Waldner, or onto the PingSkills blog at pingskills.com. And while you're there, sign up for our free newsletter with great weekly tips. All right, Alois, that wraps up show 213. Remember that hilarious joke at the start? I think that was the highlight still. Very good. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thanks for listening. And thank you, Alois.
Thanks, Jeff. And we look forward to seeing you again on Monday. Bye for now.
See ya. Have a great weekend with lots of table tennis.